So after talking with Dennis about this boss in greater detail and expressing my concern of having to press up on the D-pad to aim the projectile, changes are coming. I've seen a lot of people being frustrated over this boss, which I also told Dennis that hey, there's quite a lot of people losing sleep over this. So how does this new trap work? Well, now you don't have to have the D-pad pressed when you jump into it. It will just fly in the opposite direction. Kinda like Danger Wrap. You can push it into 8 directions, making the met grabber less of a suffering. The boss is actually good now. The fact that you can hit it up, well, and down too, makes it really fun. A developer that listens to their audience and continues to improve their work, that's admirable. Everything I say is based on my own opinions and experience. I'm not speaking for the public, and my feedback should be treated as such. You are watching Nico Evaluates. With 27 years of experience on Mega Man games, 7 years of doing the No Miss Buster Only challenge, and countless Snupster Races, as well as being the QA tester for Mega Man Unlimited and Mega Man Rock and Roll, I'm here to tell you my honest opinions on different Mega Man games, so sit tight and learn. Hello people and welcome back to Mega Man Rock and Roll. Now, think we've got everything? Yes indeed, except no E-tanks. We've got all the allies, we might as well go on. Info, select Robot Master. I never noticed how there's no info on this. It just says select Robot Master. Well, in any case, let us move on. Now we got both Rock and Roll. Let's see what happens now.
Bro! They need to kill Dr. Wiley's left testicle! They work so hard.
There we go. Ladies first. True thick and fucking thin. Ladies first, I said. Damn. These alien bastards gonna pay for shooting up my ride. Ah! How does this work? There we go. Ladies first. Thanks. Now we wait until the bitch dies. There we go, let's see. You don't wanna trip up these wires. That's a teaching element. But we don't have beat, so we are gonna have to trip up that wire. Does Rush Coil trip it up? It doesn't! I have an idea. Did anyone ever test this? Oh! Okay, it still trips. Well done. Yoku lockers. It's Doku lockers, yeah, but... Is it really? Whoa! My bad! Well, it's a fun stage. Yeah. You wanna be stealth about it as not to cause more harm to yourself. It's a fun idea. Do the weapons get rid of this laser thing? Like, does anything else? Okay, there we go. That's fun. And now our weapon bar should be full here. That's nice. Nice as well. What if I hover over a weapon and then select something else here? Okay, it seems to work. It just gets rid of the menu. Oh, and one thing I did see. Oh, you can shoot this and not trip the alarm. That's nice. So, I tripped it! I'm an idiot. But if we freeze frame when Mega Man jumps, he's still standing in the air. I think Megaphil X noticed that. I have noticed that when I pick up energy. It's pretty subtle, but yeah, that could be fixed. I agree. It looks kinda cheap. Is what it does. Uh-oh. Here we go. It's fuck. It's a puzzle stage, which I was never good at. If there's a possibility to stealth in a game, I will usually stealth. But if I suck at controlling Mega Man, then looks like we're gonna have to run and gun this. It's a fun section. It rewards the player for not tripping the alarm, which is fun to see. Do I want the 1-up? Bad enough. How many 1-ups do we have? 1. Yeah, we're gonna take it. I don't think we're gonna die to this. Oh, I forgot the walls come up. I'm the best tester. The things you forget when you haven't played the game in like 3 days. Please drop something. I beg of you. We're gonna get those. There we go. It's a fun level, even though the alarm sound might get a bit tiring after some time passes. And even more so if you keep dying, that can become annoying. Now, we can actually... I just want to show you that you can already damage the boss with the beetles, even though you probably shouldn't be able to. I noticed that in our Beetletrons only race. That's that's something. Luckily it doesn't break anything, so that was tested then. Can you... Asking for a friend. Nope. Excuse me? Of course it doesn't work when I haven't tripped the wire yet. There should have been like an E-tank coming up from the button if you managed to hit it with the snow roller or whatever the hell it's called. I'm full of bad ideas. Now, you wanna double jump here? Not so evident at first if you're a dumbass like me. But another nice puzzle right there. Fuck! My bad. It's a fun level. Something we haven't seen in a Mega Man game before. Stealth level. Or maybe we have, I haven't. It's a fun idea. And it ends up working pretty well. And you got your use of missile here. Just don't drop down or you're toast. It does activate on the spines as well, so I ought to be careful. And somebody, I think Felon, pointed out that there should be a prize for not tripping any alarms in this level. I agree, that would be very cool. Like a secret boss fight or something like that. If you don't trip any of the alarms, but some of the rooms do need to be reconstructed if that's the case. Like 2 spots, I think. That is a good idea though. I agree, that's very fun. Maybe in a like a DLC type of patch at some point, like a year after the release, maybe something like that could be done. A fun way to add gameplay value. So here's basically... Oh, Mega Man still has the beetles? Holy hell, that's a nice attention to detail there. You get to keep the weapon you had. Basically, how this works, you can swap characters. And you're supposed to hit the eye. Of course, weaknesses do come in handy. Oh, cock smoke. And what you'll notice is that both characters have their own HP bars. There's your choice of weakness. My bad. Rock and roll. I only now noticed that. It's probably still like coded in such a way where, yeah, there we go. Once the blocks go out, then you get to swap if you want. You don't have to. Free choice. But once the blocks go out, you might wanna, because you can't really hit it easily. Except if you wanna waste this. Okay, it doesn't work. Well, good job there. It does not work. Though the beetles do work. You could use those and just chill down here. It's not the weakness, but it works pretty damn well. If you wanna deal some extra damage without having to actually do anything. That's a fantastic boss fight, I think it's very good. I like it. And now, as you can see, our energy is the Beetletron is almost out, but if we swap to Mega Man, we have more of them, because the weapon bars, or energy bars rather, are individual, so Mega Man and Roll has their own, so they both have their own HP and the weapon energies, which is really fun. Kinda like swapping turtles, in the underwater section in Turtles 1 on the NES. Swap characters, because I almost died. That's how you play this one. Try and swap characters as not to die. There we go. So basically you have 2 HP bars for this whole fight, which makes it easier. And of course, every time you have Mega Man and Roll in the same boss fight or level, you always have those 2 HP bars. So having those maximum 3 E-tanks, not that big of a deal if you think about that. You have quite a lot of HP if you combine them. Here it comes. Who would have guessed, to be honest? It's Billy. Billy Idol. But we have our friends with us. I love these little sticks flying in. Not the best looking Wily Castle, but it's not bad. Let's save this to some other spot, like here, so we can still go back to the Robot Masters if we want. End game. Because if you exit this, like the Wily Castle, you can't... essentially you have to start it from scratch. So, let's go here. Because this is probably the most hated level in the entire game. By all of the Mega Man communities. Everyone hates this level apparently. Here's my take on this level. The level itself is above average. It's not great. It's not horrible. I didn't really have anything to add, to be honest. I don't know how to... I didn't really know how to tackle this one. Nice sunset. Reminds me of the one in Mega Man 6. Lovely. Little throwback to Mega Man 1 with the green bladers. Fun placement for the show. And the music is pretty good. So the issue... Oh, it seems like in OBS, like the game is stuttering a bit, but it's not stuttering for me at all. So that's just OBS being strange. My bad, hope you can deal with that. So... The level really starts once you're inside. The outside is a bit... it's simple. But once you get inside, and of course, by now you know how the weapons work. Once you see this, if you die to this fish, you can just always have fun in their expense. This is fun. Use them as platforms. It's a fun weapon. One of the more fun weapons in the game, if you ask me. Throwback to Mega Man 1 here. I can't believe I made that jump. Of course I make it when I have full health. And the room from Mega Man 1 as well here. But the level... it gets a bit tricky later on. This is just normal platforming here, nothing too bad. And the boss is the thing that people hate. Like, people absolutely hate this level's boss. And I'll tell you my story once we get there. This level is kinda like a harder version of Missile Man stage. Except now it's basically all mets once you get here. Throwback to Mega Man 4 in that sense, just a met level. People are having extreme difficulties in this level as well. When they first play this. That jump reminds me of the one in Turbo Man, when you're trying to dodge the tires. That's kinda similar, it's fun to see that. And this enemy here, I saw this when I evaluated one of the Game Boy games, and I was like, Dennis, can you add this in? Because I absolutely love this enemy. And here it is, it's a met that's high. Look at that, look at the eyes, look at the eyes. So you shoot it with the Charge Buster and then you can kill it. Such a fun enemy design. There should have been more of those in the game, to be honest. I love those. Get the met. Every other one is a met. There we go. Alright, so here's where the game becomes a little bit gimmicky, and I'm not sure if it's too clear. I still don't quite understand how it works. But basically, you can select either Roll 1 or Mega Man 1 in the Wily levels. We went to Mega Man 1, but if we went to Roll 1 first, she can break the lock for Mega Man and we can get that one up. But since we are now in a Mega Man 1, we cannot get that. So let's see what we can do for Roll, if anything. One thing, if you listen closely, I don't like that the music itself has bullet sounds. I don't think you should ever do that if you're making music. Like, have an actual bullet sound in the music itself. If the level itself isn't like something like Yoku Mass Stage, where adding the Yoku block sound to the music would be beneficial. But in just a random level like this, why do you have bullet sounds in the music? Doesn't make any sense. It's tripping me off. I'm like wondering if something is shooting at me from off screen. So not the best decision right there. That's a fun position for the Met. Yeah, I like that. That's so distracting. What were they thinking? Some fun platforming with Mets. I cannot believe I dodged all of that. Fucking put that on slow mo right there. I never noticed this either. If you hug the wall with this conveyor belt, it's kind of trippy. Whoa! That's a troll, Met. I'm sorry, what? You're gonna get it now. Get the energies for my suffering. Whoa! I forgot about this. Honey Woman helps us here. And I've tested this, and Dennis has tested this. If you try to skip this... Skip! Try to skip this with rush... shit. Then nothing bad happens. It still works. So you have to steer this yourself. If you don't, she will drag you to your doom. But also she will drag you to the Met anyway, so... I didn't like this design that much when it was showcased to me, and I still don't quite like it, because you don't have any real control over it. Well, you do have control over it, that's the problem. But I like how the Mets have different colored pluses in their helmets to showcase that they're different Mets. That's a good job. Whoa, I forgot I have to do the job myself. It could work, but most of the time it just ends up killing you this here. So not my favorite design, this one. But it's not horrible. It's fun to see Honey Woman helping us. Just the execution could have been better. Fun dodging those bullets though. Now you shoot the computer, which will open the log. Thank you for nearly killing me. Bam. There we go. Now starts the section where people start to die a lot. So, because I know how this works, you're supposed to trip this and then maybe swap to something like this and not get hit as a result. There we go. I did a horrible job at that, but well, at least I showcased how to get the E-Tank. That's a fun section. It's a lot easier if you don't want to hurry up for the E-Tank. And here's where people get hit though. The Mets just come up from there and get you. Your only clue is those bubbles coming up. That's your clue that there's something there, but realistically, who's gonna think about that? Nobody. Fun little surprise though. Let's see. And here we have the section from Dustman. If you see this room, you probably know what that's gonna do if you played Mega Man 4 before. And now another place where you would most likely insta-kill yourself if you don't see those pressers soon enough. And this is the section where people start to die. They will curse their lives, they will throw their controller. Just like I did. When I was testing this game, this level brought up some childhood trauma back. I was so pissed at this level for a very long time. I had to actually take a break from testing after I played this level and finally beat it. I was so fucking pissed at this, because I could not beat it. But now, as you can see, we're still alive, barely. But I have not died. I will die to this here, because I know a med is coming. Ah! Alright, we made it. So, no deaths, first try. I have not played this game as much as you think, but that is not the problem. The level is not the real problem of this stage. Imagine that's a sentence. The level itself is not the problem here. The problem is the boss. This is where people lost their fucking temper. I'll give you the preface first. So, the first time I battled this boss, I was so pissed. I think I remember saying that I'm gonna have to take a little break because I can't deal with this. I game over to this boss maybe 8 times and then I was just like, fuck. Because I was told, hey, there's a really neat weakness to this, but if you don't use it, it's gonna be really hard. And I tried to figure out the weakness for like forever. I literally tried for like hours to figure out what the hell is the weakness and how does it work. So finally, I think another tester told me the weakness and I was like, what? And I finally tested it and holy shit, it's clever. But before you figure that out, you're gonna be pissed out of your mind. And when I told Dennis, hey, that boss, it really pissed me off. He was like, so it works. I was like, what do you mean? Basically he wanted this to make... Basically, from what I understand, he wanted to make the boss bring up those childhood rage moments back. And oh fucking boy, did you do a good job at that, huh? So the whole idea of the boss is to put you on your knees, begging for mercy. You'll be pissed, but once you come back, you'll probably have an easier time. Once you figure it out, it's not bad. The boss is still not my favorite. I would say it's below average. I don't fancy this boss that much myself. But once you figure it out, it's a lot easier. That doesn't make it better, but that does make it more manageable once you know what to do. And people have already beaten this boss like no damage buster only, so that's possible. It's possible to do that. So, I did a mistake right off the bat. What you should be doing is staying far here, the other corner, and then make your jump up here and blast away. I'm on the wrong side. So even though I learned this fight, I still suck at it. Oh god. Just have to get the rhythm down, and I don't have it right now. Kill the mets, slide on the box and jump up there is what you should be doing, then come back here. On the left side, hammer on the mets. And then you should be moving again to the other side. I wanna... yeah, we're gonna take the death here, but... I'm gonna try and do some bustering here, but I will essentially use the weakness on this so we can move on. But yeah, not my favorite boss, I'll be honest. It's not my favorite. Like now that I know how it works, it's easier to manage. And as a result, it can be fun. But not a lot of people like this, I'll be honest. Uh-oh. Not a lot of people like this. I can see why. It's really difficult. It's hard to read. And I think the biggest problem is the floor, because the floor slows you down. I think that's the one thing that pisses me off about this, is the floor. Like how you can't really jump high and you can't really run. That's my problem with this. That's why I don't like it as much as I probably would otherwise, because if we had the speed on this, this would flow better, honestly. That would be the probably the core change I would make here. Of course I say that after the testing phase, but it's supposed to piss you off. That's how it's supposed to work. It is supposed to be like this. It's the boss that you dread. It's the boss that brings back those childhood rage moments. I understand. And that's why people hate this. As you can see, I suck at the fight. Buster only. Of course, as you can see from like my performance here, You can clearly see that it's doable Buster only. You just have to be really like into it. If I try to talk at the same time, if you even miss like one shot, you can't do it, as you can see. So it really requires your full attention. If you don't, you'll most likely die quite a horrible death. And here, if you miss one of those, you're just getting hit. So this is basically how it works, and I was too slow. You have to know how it works. You absolutely have to know how this works before you can master it. There's no luck in this. You can't just luck this out. You literally have to know how it works. I make that mistake every time. I should already be going when that happens. But basically this is it, and a horrible job again here from me. But as you can see, I'm getting better at it as we go. Go, 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 go. Thanks. There you go. That's how you make it. And don't get hit there. Go back here. It is just... It's no! It's really something else. I have not really seen a boss like this. My thumbs are fucking dead. So basically what you're supposed to do here is trap one of these mets and then bam. And possibly even hit it with it. Crap. Ah! Don't hurry. There's no reason to rush here. It's not doesn't go away. Of course, if you hit it straight on with this, it's not gonna do anything. So hit this like this and then... Oh my god! You have to be so accurate. I suck at being accurate. Oh my god. I've never actually missed with this weapon before, like this much. Like I've missed with it, sure, but... Come on! What the fuck? Dennis! I hate this somehow. Please! Oh! We're gonna die! Oh my god, my rage is coming back. Oh! What am I doing wrong, Dennis? Fuck! Now! What the f... Why is it not working, Dennis? Die! Why is it not going up? What is going on? Oh my god, I have never... Fuck! You! This would have been the perfect weakness! If you ask me right now, I mean... Fucking no! I'm gonna have to do a perfect Buster job. I didn't even showcase how the weakness works! You shove the mets into the boss and then... the boss takes a lot of damage. Fuck! I have to read all of that! Oh! Jesus! I tested... It's not... Well, how did I not... Some improvements could be made on this boss. It's so close that I would hate it, but I don't hate it, I just don't like it. It gets easier every time you do it. But you still have to... like... You can't talk when you battle it. I'm sure if I didn't talk at all, and I just paid attention, I could do it Buster only. I almost did it, but then I started talking again. And as you can see, if we go through the level, let's just honestly try and go through this as fast as we can, without taking too much damage, and see how hard the stage really is. Okay, we're taking damage. Because the stage is not that bad. But the problem is, once you like die to the boss like 8 times, you start to hate the level too. Because you know you have to go through the level in order to get back to the boss. So by default you start hating on the level, even though the level might be good. That's how it works. You get frustrated, and the more frustrated you get, the more angry you become. And you start to blame the game for everything. But, like we all do, we blame the boss. So, if Dennis really wanted that childhood rage to come up, yeah, he succeeded. Like, wholeheartedly. He did a good job at that. If he wanted to make a good boss though... almost there, I guess. But it's just... It's something that... Oh my god, I fucked myself, I can't believe that. Can I still save myself? That's really lenient. I still got it. Get fucked. I like those color choices. Didn't get rid of that met though. Probably like spawns in or something like that. Weird. Anyway. That's my feedback on the Met Grabber. And some of these placements are just... they punish you for doing exactly what the game asks, which is trying to be fast on this section. And when you're fast, the Mets come up and hit you anyway. So basically the game kind of drops the ball in this level. But once you practice, not that big of a deal. Of course, now, let's see what the... Oh, did you see that? I was charging this weapon. Huh. So, let's fucking try that again. Why could I... like, what went wrong? What is going on? Why can't I angle it up? Am I supposed to press something? Oh my god. So I think I'm showcasing the problem pretty well. I don't understand what's going on right now. They should go like diagonally up, but they're not. I don't know why. Now it worked. I don't know how that worked. And we're dead. I think in order for the weakness to work better, you should really work on the hitbox of this weapon. Like, how is it not flying like diagonally up? Like, how is it... Do I have to like press up and... Like, do I have to aim it myself? Is that what it is? If that's so, that's just... I have to press up on my... Oh my god, I just realized what that is. I have to press up myself to aim it up. It's not enough that I like bump the ghost from a certain angle. I actually have to press up. I didn't know that. And of course you can't aim it straight up. You can only aim it diagonally. So I think the problem here is not necessarily the boss, it's the fucking weapon. So if you improve the weapons, like how it works a little bit, this could be a lot better. Like why am I not able to shoot this up? Like why not? Why can I only shoot this diagonally? If I could like trap those mets under it and then press up and hit it that way, that would make it a lot better. But since I can't do that, and since the only hitbox of this boss is pretty much like the eyes, it's so unforgiving. I'm dying again and I used an E-tank. You can see how difficult this is. I tested the game and I still can't beat this boss for the fucking life of me. It's incredible how difficult this is. Like, I can see why people rage. People quit this game after this boss. Like, they can't even beat it. They're just done. And I'm dying again. Like, I understand. I don't hate this, like I said, but I definitely don't like this either. It's like a meme in the Discord now. The Met Grabber. Is there like one single person who likes this? I don't know. But now I'm just bustering it without any problems. Fuck. I'm gonna go ahead and say that because of all the problems with the weapon specifically, which is supposed to be the weakness, I kinda hate this. Like, I don't remember it being this difficult, but apparently it is. And you have to like... Usually a weakness, you can just like keep yourself on the weakness. Like you can just have it on, but because how the fight is structured, you have to constantly switch back to the buster and get rid of these extra mets, because you can't really use the weakness on those, because you're not gonna hit it with them. So constantly you have to switch off of the weakness, and then switch back, I think, in this part, to get this very specific met trapped. And then just switch back to buster and keep fighting the boss for like 5 minutes until you can do something again. It really is. It's not as bad as the Block Devil in Mega Man 10, but really, realistically, it's quite awful. Like, now that I actually play this again, I'm gonna have to agree with the general public. This is just quite a bad of a boss. I mean, Dennis, in the future, if you're really up to it and you want to make this boss better, number one, the weakness, you should be able to fire it straight up. That's the big one. You should be able to fire that up. Secondly, you should be able to knock the Mets in the ghost trap form by just knocking the Mets, not just... Don't make me press up as well. That's kind of ridiculous. Don't do that. And then have more Mets placed in a way where you can actually hit it more often, not just as one. Maybe there's more, but I can only find one. And now I just buster it without any fucking problems, but... Yeah, it's kind of a bad design. I don't like it. It hurts. Oh my god. So after talking with Dennis about this boss in greater detail and expressing my concern of having to press up on the D-pad to aim the projectile, changes are coming. I've seen a lot of people being frustrated over this boss, which I also told Dennis that hey, there's quite a lot of people losing sleep over this, but this should make it easier and a lot better when it comes to design. So my issue with this old mechanic was that you can't aim the trap straight up or down. You can only aim it diagonally up, or left and right. And on top of that, you had to press up on the D-pad before you hit the trap, which makes no sense, because at that point, the projectile is no longer in your control. It's an object that's floating in the air. Why would the D-pad have any control over it? That was my concern. And this is the big reason why like 80% of players found this boss tedious. Nobody really realized you had to literally press up while jumping into the trap. So how does this new trap work? Well, now you don't have to have the D-pad pressed when you jump into it. It will just fly in the opposite direction. Kinda like Danger Wrap. You can push it into 8 directions, making the Met Grabber less of a suffering. The boss is actually good now. The fact that you can hit it up, well, and down too, makes it really fun. A developer that listens to their audience and continues to improve their work, that's admirable. The new patch should mitigate lag as well, so if you've had those kind of issues, you can try the game out again to see if it helped. The patch could be up already at this point. Discord has more information. And that's a fun fight. Thanks for watching another Nico Evaluates. Join us in Discord to talk about Mega Man, White Bread, and the neighbor's dog. Impact the show in my Patreon, or just throw a few bucks if you wanna buy me coffee. Check our merch at teespring.com/store/Snupster and get my quotes on your shirt. If you want to see weekly Mega Man races, go ahead and subscribe to Snupster. Catch you on the next one.